Late in the week, that means it's racing to win time. We're headed to Sha Tin this Sunday for a 10-race program, bit of mixed course racing as well. And to preview it all, joined in the studio today by Paul Luddy and Tom Wood. And Tom, not necessarily a vintage meeting as far as racing goes, but 10 winners to find.
There are, Mark. Hello to you and to everyone. Yes, 6 races on the dirt and the other 4 on the turf, including one down the straight. The main event is a Class 2 race on the dirt, and there's plenty of chances in that. And a new jockey in town as well, Alexis Pouchon, here with 5 rides through the course of the program.
He is indeed. The Frenchman riding at Sha Tin Trials on Friday. Paul Luddy joins us as well. Very good reason why we've got so much all-weather racing and straight racing. There's a big meeting coming up next weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And look, the furthest race on the turf is 1,400 metres coming up on Sunday. A couple of good jackpots though. 1.2 million going into the triple trio, 1.1 million going into the 6-up win bonus. So there is a bit of money floating around and looks like a good card. And sometimes you get a couple of strange results on the all-weather because you get these horses that haven't raced on it before.
More on the meeting on Sunday shortly. Firstly, a bit more on the meeting, the big one coming up a week on Sunday. And the first part of the show is dedicated to HKIR. We've got a very special guest coming up soon to talk about the Japanese runners. Before we get to him, boys, at Sha Tin on Friday. And Tom, we had a very high quality trial to kick things off. Indeed, all 4 trials featured horses which are heading towards IR. Beauty Waves wins this, but gee, he was very, very keen. Yeah,
he certainly was. You can see him, his rider, he's really just tried to get him to come back underneath him, but he wanted to go a lot quicker there. Invincible Sage looked good there on the outside, and Galaxy Patch quickening nicely in behind them, Paul. Of course, Beauty Eternal had to go back to the trials after a disappointing run last time.
Yeah, he did. So this was his opportunity. And look, horses covered there in the sprint and mile, and Shude's in there as well. So all the races were quite well covered there with those horses.
And speaking of covering that trial, trainer of both Galaxy Patch and Beauty Waves is Pierre Ong, and here he is with Nick.
You were pretty well represented in the first trial here this morning as well. Looking ahead to IR in just over a week's time, you had Galaxy Patch, Beauty Waves and Taj Dragon going around in the first. Beauty Waves fared best of them. He looks to be in good form.
Yeah, he's been very well, very fit and well. Of course, running against a very good sprinter, KAIR Rising. Hopefully we can manage to get a higher placing with him.
Galaxy Patch made some nice progress from the back of the field. You must have been happy with him.
I'm very happy with this trial today, and with the jockey Vincent Ho as well. As we still learning, try to find out the best way for him to run against in the Group 1s. So he's switching off nicely, and he finished off really well. Very impressive today.
I guess you more than most, Pierre, might just campaign for a 1,400 metre race on IR Day because Taj Dragon, that's his favourite trip. But he's going to the mile, isn't he, I believe? And how was his trial?
Well, we just try to take along with him, and hopefully he had a Group 1 running into placing, get some prize money, and look forward to the Group 2s and Group 3s later on.
It's an exciting time, isn't it, really?
Oh, definitely. It's the time of the year, everything's exciting, the weather is good. So hopefully we get there.
That is the wash-up from Trial 1. Trial number 2, Paul, featured Red Lion, who runs second in this trial. He covers a bit of ground and then runs on well at the end, although a win on the big day would be a surprise.
It would. Yeah, he's going to be one of the outsiders, I think, coming into the races on Sunday. week. And look, the trial was good enough as he came down the outside here. He did what he had to do. So he'll go in cherry ripe, as you'd expect, and no problems with the trial as such. But yeah, I would be surprised if he won it.
Group 1 place in the Champions Mile, but the mile this next weekend is a lot stronger than what that was back in April.
He had a perfect run in that race too. Next trial, Thomas Helios Express. What did you make of his trial? He was pushed out a touch turning for home. There he is on the outside in those purple and yellow colours.
I think he was just asked to do a little bit here this morning, Helios Express. Probably maybe put it down to the surface and whatnot, but maybe just wanting to give him a good hit out before next weekend. But I think he found the line A-OK here, so I wouldn't be too worried about that he was pushed out a little bit, Paul.
No, not at all. Again, it was just again a training aid, this one, isn't it, for him? And he another one who looks good, and look, his runs have been good this season.
Those three all over the 1200. This over the 1050, Paul, after a great run on the Group 2 day from How Deep Is Your Love. He was one of the triallers of the morning.
Yes, and look, he's really put his hand up, hasn't he? Look, he gets back, and that's his problem. He hasn't got that early gate speed, so he will need a little bit of luck coming into the race, and you can see he was under a good hold here.
Yeah, his closing splits last time out were very, very good, so we can't wait to see what he can do. Big step up for him, but it was very good last time.
So that is How Deep Is Your Love, and indeed the rest of the Hong Kong triallers at Sha Tin on Friday. Time to talk now about some of the visitors coming, and Japan is our focus today, and great to say Toshi Onikubo from Netkeiba joins us. Toshi, thanks again for your time on Racing to Win. The Japanese not huge on numbers this year, but they're very big on quality.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mark. I mean, I'm a pleasure to join this.
Let's go straight into the sprint. We'll go through the 4 races and we'll go in distance order, starting with the sprint. And we've got a couple of horses coming out of the Sprinter Stakes. Lugal, the Group 1 winner, of course, headlines the race. And Toshin Macau, who also comes out of a defeat from that horse in Lugal. How do they stack up, that pair coming forward from the Sprinter Stakes?
Yeah, they beat 2 Hong Kong riders in the Sprinter Stakes. Victor, the winner, who finished third in the Spring Grade 1 in Japan. But, I mean, on that day, that wasn't his day, and Mugan was beaten as well. But, yeah, I think, Hong Kong's US sprinters are too good and too good to beat. That's what I would say. All
right, so we'll quickly touch on the third horse you've got from Japan. Maybe a place chance at best is Satono Reeve, who's the winner of the Group 3 Keeneland Cup. Are the other two slightly better at this stage of their careers than Satono Reeve?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, he didn't perform in the Grade 1 Group 1 in the Sprinter Stakes, but as you mentioned, his Grade 3 win was so impressive. If he has that form, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. He can be praised.
All right, they showed a very good turn of foot too in the Keeneland Cup, did Satono Reeve late in that race. Onto the mile here, and we'll start, Toshi, with a horse that we have seen in Hong Kong in Soul Rush, Group 1 winner of the Mile Championship last time.
Yeah, exactly, and that was his career best performance and so impressive. I mean, Charin, the best miler from Europe and England, he got too much to do. But, I mean, to be fair, I think Soul Rush beat well the others, the reminders as well. So I think, if he has that form, bring it to Hong Kong, yeah, he should have good one for the Hong Kong Mile.
Toshi, it's Paul here. With Genta Manta, the horse is quite a young horse, only had the 6 starts, but has won 2 Group 1 races. Is he a horse that can travel here, no problem? Is he quite a mature, younger horse?
Yeah, I mean, he's 3 years old, but I mean, he's top 3 years old miler and perhaps best miler in Japan. Of course, he hasn't, compete against all the horses, but his quality is different level. And to be honest, yeah, Soul Rush ran well, but I prefer actually Genta Manta, even his 7 months layoff, international travel to Hong Kong, a lot of things to overcome, but he has a class, and his trainer, I actually am a good friend of him, and he said riders and everyone said he trained a couple of Grade 1 winners, and everyone said he's a different class.
And the 1600 metres, Toshi, as we see him going through his track work earlier today at Sha Tin, the 1600 metres is perfect. He's unbeaten at the trip.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely best, I'd say.
On to the Cup, and we'll start with Tastira. Yet to win since leaving 3-year-old grade. That has to be some concern against horses like Romantic Warrior and Liberty Island, doesn't it?
It is, but last time out he gained his form again. The winner of the Tennosha, Dodius, who won the Japan Cup impressively, he's a different class, but the Tastira finished well in second. So, if he's coming back, he's gaining his form back, yeah, he should be competitive.
Also in this replay at the moment, Toshi, is Liberty Island. Do we just forget that first run? She was first up from an injury layoff. She raced wide, and we know she's a whole lot better than that performance.
Yeah, exactly. We can draw a line through about that performance of Liberty Island in the Tennosha. But again, she's a top class filly, and she was champion last year. But she won Group 1 races, all the Group 1 races, against her age group and fillies and mares. So that is a question, and against the champion, one of the best horse ever in the Hong Kong. Yeah, that would be a big question to ask. That's what I would think.
Toshi, just hold on for a second with us. We're going to hear from the trainer of Liberty Island right now. It is Mitsumasa Nakaoshida.
もちろん国際的、重要なレースの一つとして捉えてますし、毎年ここを目標にして、何頭か連れていければとは思ってますね。
さあ、そしてまずリバティアイランドについて伺いたいんですが、前走の天皇賞ですけど、ちょっと残念な結果だったんですが、
そうですね。残念な結果ではあったんですけど、休み明けから立ち上げて、怪我からの復帰っていうところもあって、ちょっと調教不足のところもあったのかなっていう反省点と、それに対して馬が、競馬で息切れしてしまったっていう、ところでしたね。
良くなっていると信じていますが、実際今のところ具合はどういう感じでしょうか。
はい、一度使われて、馬の状態は1つ2つ上がってきてますし、ここまで順調にレース後も順調に来ておりますので、あと2週間、順調に競馬まで持っていければと思っています。
ロマンチックウォリアーが地元で待っていますが、この辺りはどのようにお考えですか。
もちろんね、何度か一緒に競馬させてもらったんですけれども、悔しい思いしかしてないですし、もちろん他にもたくさん、強い馬出てきますんで、全ての中走馬は相手とは思ってますね。
And Toshi, just finally on the Cup, Liberty Island has travelled before, Tastira hasn't, but the horse that beat them in the replay we saw on the Tenno show is Dodius, who's won the Japan Cup since.
Yeah, exactly. Dodius is the best horse. So, Tastira, Liberty Island, we're bringing, two of the great horses to Hong Kong Cup. But again, Romantic Warrior, who knows where the finish line is, so hard to beat. But question is, can Liberty Island beat Prognosis? As a benchmark? Yeah, I think Liberty Island should be able to beat Prognosis. But the real question is, can she beat Romantic Warrior in Hong Kong? In Japan, probably I'd take home advantage. But yeah, that's a real question, I'd say.
He's aiming for his third Cup on Sunday week. Tom, we've got the Vase field on screen at the moment. Japan with 2 representatives here.
Yeah, Toshi, you've got, of course, Stellenbosch in the race and Pradaria. Pradaria hasn't done it at the elite level yet, but how do you feel about Stellenbosch's chances coming into next weekend? Because she's a 3-year-old filly, she's against the older horses, but she's been impressive against her own age group.
Yeah, she's one of the top, 3 years old and, coming here to run. But yeah, I think, she should have a good chance. That's all I would say. Regarding Pradaria, as you said, I think he doesn't have any Group 1 form, but he loves flat track, so it might work.
OK, Toshi, that is a look at the runners for Japan. Is there a standout amongst them? Who do you think's the best of the Japanese chances?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. Everyone excited about Liberty Island. Probably I should have said Liberty Island, but yeah, I would say Jantar Manta.
All right, Jantar Manta. Paul will be happy to hear that because he's keen on Jantar Manta as well. Thanks as always for joining us on Racing to Win. We'll see you in Hong Kong very soon.
Yeah, see you soon. It's exciting. And one note I'd like to mention is Japanese horses has started 57 Group 1 races outside of Japan this year. Hasn't won yet. And if we can't win anything in Hong Kong, that's first time since 2018. So we need one.
That is one heck of a stat from Toshi about the Japanese horses racing overseas and lack of wins so far. It could be ominous, but we do thank Toshi Onikubo from Netkeiba for joining us here on Racing to Win. It's break time after this. We'll come back and focus on Sha Tin this Sunday. Welcome back to Racing to Win. It's time to turn the attention to Sha Tin on Sunday after our HKIR look in part one of the show. Now, the last run reminder on the midweek edition of the show, Paul, might be a last run reminder again next time he runs because he's still trying to get out.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was hard watch, wasn't it? He couldn't get out, Modest Gentleman, all the way down the straight and went to the line hard held. But if you did follow it, there was plenty of winners that did come through it through the other races though.
Who is this horse this week?
Bear Cham only had the one start. Now he missed the start, so he'll need a little bit of hopefully he's learned is probably the word I'm trying to say after that mishap. But after that he did everything right, and you can see him. There wasn't much room there on the inside, and they didn't go quick, and he was looking for gaps all the way. You can see it just closed there as he was angling to come out. So he had to just stay in behind horses. So if he can jump on turns with him with that race under his belt, with the experience, the best part of his run, I think, it was about now where he really stretched out nicely and went to the line well. So, look, did a few things wrong, and hopefully he's learned from it.
Strips Fitter does race 2, number 5, Bear Champ, the last run reminder for Paul. Meeting details for this week. It's a standard Sunday, so normal start time of the opening race. 4 on the turf, C+3 and 6 on the all-weather. 1 o'clock the kick-off. The race we focus on is the 7th, the Peninsula Golden Jubilee Challenge Cup, which is a Class 2 over the 1,200 metres. Massive night at the top of the book. First time at the Sha Tin 1200 all-weather, but gets a £10 claim. WizKids plays 2 from 3 course and distance. Bundle of Charm is unbeaten course and distance. Raging Blizzard switches to the all-weather for the first time. Call Me Glorious, 2 trials since we last saw him. Capital Delight loves the 1200 metres on the inside track at Sha Tin. We've got Seasons Wit with the shadow roll-off and the blinkers going back on. Full Credit is on a 7-day backup and a claim for Matthew Poon. Majestic Knights with that £10 claim, Paul, is going to hold out Full Credit.
I think it will. It's got the £10 claim with Brittany Wong aboard and drawn barrier 1. Full Credit has led in most of his starts, so he'll put pressure on. Sing Dragon likes to go forward on the surface, normally leads on it. Don't think he'll be able to here. Tomodachi Kokoro, we know, likes to go forward. Call Me Glorious likes to go forward. WizKid likes to go forward. Superb Boy goes forward over 1,400 metres. There's going to be plenty of pace in this race.
Mark Newnham has 2 of the runners in the race. He spoke to Nick about Full Credit and also Sing Dragon.
Mark Newnham, we've got plenty of all-weather racing coming up, and we fully expected to see Sing Dragon lining up in a race. Race 7, you've got a couple. You've got him in Full Credit. Let's start with Sing Dragon, who's got that proven form. His turf races recently have been pretty good, and back on his favoured surface this time in.
Yeah, look, his form on the turf has been excellent in good grade, in good strong Class 2 races, and he's performed well in each of those runs this season. And this was his first opportunity to get back on the all-weather. So I would say, look, he goes into this in really good order. He won 3 on the bounce last season. So it's a surface he enjoys, and he's got a nice lightweight.
I mean, with those runs, obviously just maybe running outside of the top 3, I mean, they've actually dropped him £2 on his last run, so he's only £3 higher than his last all-weather win, which probably puts him slightly well in, doesn't it?
Oh, look, I would have thought so. No, I'm pretty happy with where he's at as far as the rating goes. Look, he's got a good style of racing. He tends to show a bit more pace on the all-weather than he does on the grass. So if he gets himself up in a nice forward position, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, he looks thoroughly interesting for sure. And he's going to be joined by Full Credit, who, well, I suppose arguably is as interesting, really. All-weather debut for him. He's always trialled nicely on it.
Yeah, look, he's shown that he does handle it well in his trials, and he's got the right racing style for it. He'll be able to put himself up in the first 3. Look, they might be able to dominate from the front, the pair of them, and made the best horse win.
Quick backup for him as well. It was a good run last time.
Yeah, look, no concerns with that. He's a horse that does really well between runs. He carried the 135 last week, so I'm sure he'll appreciate the drop down. I think he will end up carrying 114, so no, he'll appreciate the featherweight.
That is Mark Newnham on his runners. One horse we saw in the replay, Tom, during that interview was Raging Blizzard from the race at Happy Valley last time. James McDonald takes the ride. Pretty consistent horse, and James also has a good book of rides.
He certainly does through the course of the meeting. So far he's had 7 winners from his 31 rides in this stint, which is just on a couple of weeks old now, and he's got Family Fortune in the first, which looks a tough race. Super Legends, unlucky last start. Fancy Star also for Casper Founds, Nebraskan for John Size. Jubilation was just nutted last time out. Raging Blizzard on the surface for the first time. Another one for Casper Founds, Perfect Team, Paul. And Sunday Serenade, he's improved his last couple of starts.
He has, definitely. He's got a wide draw to overcome, but look, he's definitely going the right way.
And Storm Rider's well above average too.
Yeah, he is. Another one that unfortunately is drawn a bit wide.
He has gear change on Storm Rider too. As we head now, Paul, to Group 3 racing, the National Day Cup down the straight. Obviously different surface when it comes to this race on Sunday. We've got Whiz Kid, Call Me Glorious and Majestic Knight coming out of this race.
Yeah, look, Majestic Knight, I think, is going to go straight to the front here from barrier number 1, so he'll get his opportunity. Wizkid, a little bit disappointing at the last start, coming onto this surface, has been placed a few times, but yeah, look, I didn't get these ones.
I've always had a lot of time for Call Me Glorious, and his breeding would suggest that he's going to handle the surface no trouble. He's trialled well on it, but there's a lot of pace in the race. It's where he ends up from that draw of barrier 10 in the run.
We move straight to this horse, Paul, who will love the 1200. 6 from 7. He has been top 3 course and distance, Capital Delights.
He should get the race run to suit as well, Capital Delight. Look, he's going really well on the surface. They've been mixing his distances a little bit, but the 1200 looks ideal for him.
Yeah, they tried him over 16.50 last time out. That's not his go. He had a good run in transit, but he's just not a horse that's able to finish off that sort of distance. But back here at 1200 metres, and he's actually got a useful record when he is 5th up coming into a race. He's 1 from 1.
And speaking of useful records, Tom, Bundle of Charm, 2 starts, 1200 metres, all-weather course, 2 wins.
Yeah, and they were last season, both of those wins. The most recent of them was off a rating of 92. Just whacked away at Happy Valley last time out behind Beauty Charge, but seemingly enjoys racing on this surface, Paul, so he gets his opportunity here. John Size with a couple of strong chances, then the stable certainly could do with a couple of winners.
Yeah, definitely. And the other horse there, Seasons Wit, ran on really nicely, and he's got blinkers back on, so he's quite well rated at the moment.
And there you have it. That is a look at some of the runners in the feature race on Sunday. Paul, who wins?
Going to go with Make My Long Shot in this race. A horse called Supreme Lucky comes to the surface for the first time. He's really well placed. Sing Dragon, Raging Blizzard, and Seasons Wit. 9, 12, 5, 10.
Go with the John Size Quinella here, 5 and 4 Raging Blizzard, who comes into this 3rd up, and also a Bundle of Charm. Sing Dragon goes in. He could be a bit of a short price in the race and take a little chance with Call Me Glorious if he can get some luck. 5, 4, 12 and 6.
And previews of all races on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Time is on the wing here. Paul, we need your best bet, please.
Going to go with Dragon Joy. Just beaten at his last start. He's only had limited starts. He drew 10 here. You can see him come out here. He's up against Master for All now. Master for All is in this race. He's a rival once again here, and he does meet him 4 pounds better, does Dragon Joy. And you can see he was just beaten on the bob. Really stretched out nicely here from barrier 4 with a tongue tie on for the first time as well. So a little bit of a gear change there. I think he can turn the tables and he can win. So race 9 for me, number 6, Dragon Joy, the value in the race we just previewed. Race 7, number 9, Supreme Lucky coming to the surface, well bred for it. And we'll do a play in the last. These should be the favourites, but I think they'll finish 1st, 2nd and 3rd. My Wish, Steps Ahead and Geneva, QQP.
Best bet race number 2, horse 3, Cheerful World. Luke Ferraris rides for Frankie Law, and he comes into this off a good effort last time out for 3rd behind Sugar Ball. Open as anything the first race. Race 1, number 7, Yeah Boy. Trialled well leading into this, needs to perform. And Bundle of Charm, Raging Blizzard and Sing Dragon with a play for race 7.
The best bet, race 8, number 1, Supreme Agility, will be running on. Went a pretty good race on the all-weather previously. The value, race 3, number 11, Excellent Daddy, went his best race in a long time on the all-weather 2 starts ago. And the play, race 8, 1, 5 and 6, Supreme Agility, Talent's Ambition and Fighting Machine in a QQP. Time to bring up the diary, Tom, about what is upcoming, and it's the best diary of the year, this one.
It is the big 7 days here in Hong Kong. There's a whole host of things happening next week, Paul.
Looking forward to it. Everyone will be in town. It's going to be all go.
It is. We've just got to keep a lid on it, get through this meeting on Sunday because it is pretty open. But that has been Racing to Win. Still got to find some winners on the weekend. Big thanks to both Tom and Paul, and for you as we go racing at Sha Tin on Sunday. The normal start time of 1 o'clock for a 10 race program.